So students, now let us see the example number. Here we are to use the distributive property to calculate 8 in the bracket 1 upon 8 plus 5 upon 8. As we have done it earlier, if this question was to simply to solve, what we would have done it, we would have solved the bracket first. Since the LCMs are same, so we would have written 6 upon 8. 8 and 8 will get cancelled and the result comes out to be 6. But in this particular question, they are saying use the distributive property. That means without using the distributive property, we can't solve it. If the question says like this way. So how you are supposed to use it? That is 8 will get multiplied to both the fractions. That is 8 multiplied to 1 by 8 plus 8 multiplied to 5 by 8. So what is distributed here? The number 8 is being distributed to both these rational numbers. So 8 and 8 will get cancelled from both of them. And the results comes out to be 1 plus 5, which is equals to 6. Now let us come to the next heading, additive identity and additive inverse. You have to write it down in your copy, this heading, additive identity and additive inverse. As we know that the identity, the word identity tells that the things has to be the same. Like if I am thin, then I am thin. If I am a fat fellow, then my identity is as a fat. If I am a black or a Negro, then I am in that category. If I am European, my identity is that one. Same way, the inverse means if I see a thin fellow and I am very fat, then I say that see how much he is fat or how much he has put on the fat. The same way, if I am very much, I find it very thin fellow, then I will say definitely he is too thin. So that means the inverse means reverse what of the thing is happening. Additive, it's very clear, additive means to add. Now here, in a mathematical form, we can say that when 0 is added to any number, the number remains the same. So that means the identity is not getting broken. Similarly, if you take a negative number, again add 0 to it, the result remains same. So what you have to write it in your copy, the first of all the heading, additive identity and additive inverse. Then you have to write it down, 0 is the additive identity. Okay, and now we'll come to the next one, that is additive inverse. Additive inverse means a number which when added to the given number, the results gives out to be equals to 0. That means what number must be added to a given number so that the results comes out to be 0. Now if I take the 7 upon 11 as one of a rational number and I want to add such a number that the result comes out to be equals to 0, definitely it will be minus 7 upon 11. If you add both of them, the result will be coming out to be 0. So we can say that minus 7 upon 11 is the additive inverse of 7 upon 11. Similarly, we can say that 7 upon 11 is the additive inverse of minus 7 upon 11. Because if you add once again, the results comes out to be 0. So in your copy, what you have to write it? This black box that in a journal, additive inverse of any rational number a by b is minus a by b. That's all. Now we will come to the next heading, multiplicative identity and multiplicative inverse. The multiplicative word, it's clear that tells us for multiplication. Identity means the result should remain same. That if I am a fat fellow, then I should remain fat even after adding or subtracting anything. My weight should not reduce. Similarly, inverse means if I am having a heavy weight, approximately 80 to 100 kg, and I want the inverse situation. I go to the gym and tell that I want to get an inverse. That means I want to come to the normal situation, which comes out to be 40 to 50. So definitely in a mathematical way also, 0 is the additive identity and 1 is a multiplicative identity. That means if you multiply 1 to any number, the answer remains the same. Same way, the number remains unchanged. So in your copy, what you have to write it down, multiplicative identity and multiplicative inverse, and then you write it down, that is 1 is the multiplicative identity for a rational number.